Welcome back to A Current Affair. The missing groom story, the loss of George Smith overboard on his honeymoon in the Mediterranean, brought back memories for the young lady we're about to meet. 6 years ago, at the tender age of 12, she became the victim of a heinous crime on the high seas. Our Tina Malave has her story.
I really, honest to God, thought that I could go through the rest of my life never telling anybody, never opening up about it, and just moving on like nothing had happened.
When the tragic disappearance of George Allen Smith on July 4th came to light, painful memories came rushing forward for this 18-year-old California girl. She asked us to call her April to protect her identity.
If I could tell young kids, young adults who are going on these cruise ships something, I would say just don't trust anybody, because they're not safe. They're really not. They do not have your best interests in mind.
George Smith's disappearance highlighted the dangers lurking on some of these luxury liners that are supposed to be safe havens for travelers. But as April will tell you, there is nothing safe about the boat she was on. She claims she was raped and emotionally tortured by one of the crew members.
You never really think it'll ever happen to you, ever, and it did. And in less than 30 seconds, this man lured me in and raped me. You know, it was very precise. He knew exactly what he was doing when he did it.
She was only 12 when her family boarded a ship from a well-known cruise ship line for what was supposed to be a 7-day fun-filled Caribbean vacation. And for the first 4 days, it was just that, fun in the sun. Then, on the 5th day, the dream vacation turned into a nightmare. April was splashing in the pool with a teen group, then went back to her room to change into dry clothes. She says she was waiting at the elevator alone.
I pushed a button, and as I got in, a crew member also got in with me, and he was wearing a name tag, and then he asked me if I wanted to see where the dolphins played.
April says the crew member told her about a secret spot on the ship only a few special people know about, that she could see dolphins frolicking in the wild. He lured the innocent 12-year-old to a secluded area in the bowels of the ship.
He pulled me closer to him and slammed me up against this giant pulley blue thing. And now I was, crying. He kissed my ear, and then he whispered, do you like that? And I said no.
April said she knew her worst fears were about to come true.
I knew I was about to be raped, which is the worst feeling. It was, to know that it's about to happen and there's nothing you can do about it, it was the most horrifying thing. And he was laughing. He was smirking. It was a joke to him. He knew nobody could save me. I was very, very alone. And then I screamed loud and violent and started fighting. And
then April says that while the sadistic crewman was raping her, he was also screaming at her, humiliating her.
It was horrible. It was very much, I have all the power right now. There's nothing you can do. You scream as loud as you want. I'm not even going to stop you. And when he was done, he leaned down and he whispered in my ear. He said, if you tell anybody anything, I will kill you. And then I'm coming after your brother and your sister and your mom and your dad.
Scared for her family's safety, April never told her parents about the sexual assault that day. But her parents knew that something was seriously wrong with their young daughter.
She was moody and crabby, and nothing seemed to please her, and I remember that. In fact, it stands out in my memory how difficult she was that day.
She suffered in silence for 3 long years, becoming depressed, almost suicidal, and reliving her cruise horror and terrible nightmares. Then April decided in order to begin the healing process, she would have to open up and share her heartbreaking story with family and friends.
If you have been attacked and you're keeping it a secret, which is more common than people know, get it out there, because you'll be okay. It's a very long, hurting, very painful process, but you'll be okay.
April, be strong, be well. We wish you the best.